Welcome to the Bottle Poppin' Podcast, where Meg and Heather share their love for oils, friendship, and entrepreneurship. Let's get it poppin'.
Hey everyone, this is Meg.
Hi there, this is Heather.
And we are the Bottle Poppin' Podcast. So Heather, what are we popping open today?
We are going to pop open a bottle of Myrrh.
Yes, so one of the oils that the three kings brought to Jesus.
Must be special.
Must be. And it is like, you can, if you look at this oil, you can see that it's special because it's super thick. In fact, it's so thick that I can hold my bottle upside down and it doesn't run down. And I don't know if that's because it's an older bottle too, maybe. But literally, I can hold it upside down and it looks like it's just staying up there. It's like honey consistency almost.
Very much so. So we'll talk about the bottle and consistency a little bit more here in a second. But I want to talk about this scent first.
Yeah.
I don't want this to come across as bad because to me, this is a very, very nice, comforting, pleasant smell. This smells like leather. It smells like you walked into a place with boots and belts, and it smells lovely. It smells relaxing and comforting.
I totally agree. I wouldn't have thought leather, but now that you said that, yeah.
Yeah, I really like it.
It's a manly smell too.
Yes. Yeah, I really like the smell of this. Okay, so yes, to the thickness. It's made from the gum and resin part of the plant. Mm-hmm. So to like that just equals thicker consistency anyways. A lot of people will replace the cap on this with a different cap to make it easier to use. Because if you have the traditional cap, you unscrew it and you wait and you wait and you wait for a drop to come out. So when we were at convention, I got the flip lid caps that just make it a little bit easier. It doesn't have the little plastic orifice on it. And so it just comes out the top of the little part of the cap. It's really easy. You flip the lid, it comes out pretty quick. However, if you forget, like I did, that you put that cap on and in the middle of the night you go to get the Myrrh or it's slightly dark still and you unscrew the cap thinking that it is only a bottle. Yeah, even though it's slow, it comes out a lot quickly. And it was very, very sad with how much Myrrh I probably lost that day. Yeah. And even as we were about to like unscrew the lid to smell this, I almost started to unscrew and reminded myself that it's a flip lid, Heather, flip lid. Oh, man, that was disappointing.
So I also replaced my lid, but I did one of those dropper lids. And so it's obviously a different type of lid. I will say this, I think, is my second dropper to put on here because eventually, because it's so like crystally, if the oil is stuck at the top where it's the rubber thing, it will harden in there and then it's not useful. But yeah, the dropper lid makes it easy to know that it's something different. And yeah, definitely easier to use too.
And I will say that crystallization seems to occur with any lid. The regular lid, it is on all over my flip top around the ring of the neck of the bottle. And it gets sticky. It's like this is definitely one of those oils that you've got to be careful where you're putting the oil bottle. You probably don't want to throw this in your purse by something. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
And sometimes it also can get so like sticky and gummy that it's hard to open. If that happens, run it under hot water or warm water and it will eventually like basically melt it to where you can open up the bottle. So don't feel like you have to throw away this precious oil.
Yeah. So let's talk about uses. How do you use this oil?
I feel like I have really only used it topically. So this oil is really good for skin issues. And so I have occasionally put it on when I've seen various skin issues. And even as I'm saying that, I'm thinking, I don't know what skin issues besides acne I've had, but acne, I don't normally use this one for. I know a lot of people like this one for like dry, scaly skin. It's really effective for that. Thankfully, that's not really my issue. So I'm not sure what I've used half this bottle on.
So I primarily use it topically when we do use it. And I feel like both my daughter and I get right at the edge of our fingernails, like those dry crack spots, like right at the top of like the skin where the top of the nail is. And so it's one of those places that it just feels like it takes a long time to heal. And so I will often get the Myrrh and just rub it over like the cuticles and edge of my skin at the top of where my nail and skin meet toenails and nails. I do think it helps with, I guess I've always associated with nail health, but maybe the skin health is more what I'm working on. But that's where I tend to use it the most, is right at my nails.
Interesting. Do you dilute it as well?
I don't, because unless it's a hot oil, I usually don't take the time to dilute.
I just wondered if that would drive it in and like moisturize that area even more. I have a hangnail on my thumb, so I'm like, I'm going to apply this right now and see if that just kind of helps.
So I work in physical therapy, and I tell my patients to do things all of the time, half of which I don't listen to myself. I am going to tell you right now, you should dilute your oils. You should dilute your oils for multiple reasons. They're going to stay on your skin longer, so they can more slowly get absorbed, and you get the benefits of that longer. They are for decreasing sensitivity, so that if an oil is bothersome to your skin, if you've diluted it, it's not as bad. I don't do that. I don't do that unless it's a hot oil, but please do as I say, not as I do.
Same. Although now I just put it on my thumb and it's so sticky. Like thankfully I'm just sitting here. I don't need to touch things for a little bit.
I usually do it right before bed. So I'm not touching things anyways. I'll put it on my toenails, stick it on my nails, and I go to bed. So
yeah. Smart.
Hence the dark and the cap malfunction that I had.
Well, speaking of skin, this one also is really good for just like wrinkles and fine lines. So if that's something you struggle with, again, make that part of your daily routine. And I feel like this would be a good one, like in that, so that your skin now isn't super sticky. Maybe apply it to where you've got the wrinkles or fine lines, and then put like your face lotion on over it. And so that would work as your carrier oil and help blend it in and make it a little easier to. I feel like it's so sticky. It might add wrinkles as you're trying to rub it in. Just a thought.
This one can be used all three ways. I have never used it internally. It talks a lot about oral hygiene on doTERRA's website, and how you can use it as a mouth rinse by gargling with it. I had never even tried it, I don't think, internally. So I did roof of my mouth a few minutes ago just to kind of see. It's a very mild taste. I think when I think of mouth rinses, I'm so used to the On Guard mouth rinse that I expect some sort of cinnamony, minty type of thing. This would be a very mild but it definitely wasn't bad. I just don't think about this one being used for that.
Yeah, I forgot about that, but I do have somebody in my downline who was having some gum issues and asked me if there was something for oils that she could do. And this was the recommendation. And she was putting, I think, a drop just on her toothbrush. So it was kind of rubbing into her teeth and gums. And I'm pretty sure it helped her. I don't know. I should probably follow up with her, but that was like 2 or 3 years ago. So it's a little late to follow up now. If you're listening, I'm sorry I didn't follow up. Hopefully it all worked out okay.
Yeah. So the emotional benefits of this one are interesting. The properties are connected to Mother Earth. So it talks a lot about the mother-child bond. And if somebody has feelings of abandonment, if there was a difficult birth that came with trauma, if there was any malnourishment, or any other childhood issues, that this is a really good oil for people to use to be able to learn to trust again. And it talks about how it can make one feel as the mother's womb does, with that love and support, that this can provide a similar feeling to that. Again, I've never thought about using this one from the emotional standpoint. I didn't know what the emotional standpoint was. However, I would say my daughter and I have a good relationship. She was a NICU baby. And so for the first 5 weeks, she was in the NICU. The first 8 days, she was easily overstimulated. And so we were not allowed to touch her. They had her eyes, her ears covered. They basically only changed her diaper if they needed to, because any stimulation or touch would cause her heart to stop. And so we couldn't even touch her for the first 8 days. And that bonding experience definitely was lacking. Now, we cuddle every night and all of those things, and I would say that we're close. However, I wonder if internally she has any of those feelings from a lack thereof, whether or not she recognizes them. But I think I might make her a roller bottle with some of her favorite oils and put this in there too, just to see if we can help down deep with emotional stuff.
Yeah, I love that. And she likes lavender too, right?
Loves lavender.
Because I did see, and it's called the Myrrhific Relaxing Massage Oil, but it's 7 drops of myrrh, 5 drops of lavender, and then 30 milliliters of fractionated coconut oil. And so that's supposed to be for a massage, but I could see how that smell combo would be really good too.
Well, and she loves massage. That is definitely one of the ways that we connect on a nightly basis. So thank you. I will make that combination, and I will just start being a little bit more regular about the night massage. And maybe that is helpful for that too. So glad I learned about that today.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is definitely a unique and different oil, but if you don't have it, get it. It can help with a lot of different things. Anything else to add, Heather?
I don't think so.
You could tell that this is a calming oil too, because we're both like, okay, yeah, good. And I'm just like nonstop smelling my thumb that I put it on.
The only thing I will say is that there is a lot of positive properties about this oil that cannot necessarily be mentioned.
Right.
And so oils come with lots of qualities and benefits that are not always, how do you word this?
We're censored.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the truth. There's certain things we're not allowed to say in certain areas. And so we are censored, and that's okay. There is good reason for that, but it's unfortunate because there's things that can help people when they are pure and quality essential oils, but we're not allowed to say it.
So that is also why we do our third Thursday Ask Us Anything, though, because the podcast is hopefully an overview of an oil and the things that it offers. But most oils we can probably go a little bit deeper with. Mm-hmm. And so if you ever want to talk a little bit on a deeper level about certain oils or have any questions about certain things that you're trying to help in your own life, come to the third Thursday, Ask Us Anything. It's over Zoom. It's 30 minutes of a conversation, and hopefully we can answer some deeper questions kind of off record.
Yeah. Yep. Those calls are not recorded.
Right.
But we can really help people that way. So definitely we hope that you are able to join us. All right. Well, I'm just going to continue to sit here and smell my thumb now.
I'm glad the smell is enjoyable, at least.
It really is. And it's calming too.
Right.
So, yeah. Awesome. Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for taking the time, as always, to listen. And we'll have a brand new episode for you next Friday.
Thanks for tuning in. For more information, you can follow these bottle poppin' ladies at bottlepoppinpodcast.com. Tune in next week to learn about what bottle we're poppin'. Until next time, take care. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This podcast is not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease.